Thank you for calling Harbor Freight customer support. Did you know you can get our best deals and coupons, and even check inventory at your local store, all on harborfreight.com? This call may be monitored or recorded for quality purposes. Para español, presione 9. For parts, press 1. For product questions and troubleshooting, press 2. For all other inquiries, press 3. For parts, please hold for our next associate. Your call is important to us. Please remain on the line and your call will be answered by the next available associate. Your call is important to us. Please remain on the line and your call will be answered by the next available associate.
Thank you for calling Harbor Freight Tools. My name is Ruby. Who am I speaking with today?
Hi, Ruby. This is Tryon, and
How can I?
I just wanted to confirm we are on a recorded line, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good. Because we are both on a recorded line. Ruby, I have a
Okay.
question. I have a question for you. I purchased an item. It was like $20, nothing crazy. About 4 or 5 days ago, with cash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I bought the wrong size. There were some drill bits that they were the wrong size, so I didn't use them. I didn't destroy the package. Everything's the same as I got it from the store. I went back to the store to return with a receipt in hand, and they were
Mm-hmm.
asking me for my personal ID to scan my ID. Now, mind you,
Yes.
I had the receipt in hand, and they would not do the return because I did not give my ID, my personal information. Can you explain that, please, to
Yes,
me?
that is one of our store policies.
Now,
Yes,
is
I can definitely explain that for you.
no, no. So my question to you is this a
Mm-hmm.
legal requirement in this country to return something to a store with a receipt to have the government ID scanned?
Yes, it just depends on which stores have those regulations. So what we do is we have basically a third party validate returns. That way, there's no fraudulent returns being made, and this could happen to anyone. So, if the system flags a certain return, they'll ask for photo ID. And this could have happened to you and maybe the person behind you that was trying to do a return. So when I'm
Now,
going to read this like verbatim straight from our website, and it does show, a valid government issued ID or other identifying information must be presented at the time of return, and a copy may be recorded and retained. And
so you
then
guys
for
are
your
recording.
convenience,
I read all that stuff on your website. My question is,
yeah.
I had a receipt in hand. This was not a fraudulent. If I didn't have the receipt, I totally get it. That's how Home Depot does it, Menards. They all request an ID if you don't have a receipt. But I had the receipt in hand, and I still have it.
Yes.
And why do I have to surrender my personal information to Harbor Freight in this case?
Well, like I said, this is, due to a third party that provides fraud prevention services for us. So that's the only reason that IDs get asked for. So
But I
that
have the
database is
receipt.
for consumer activity. I understand that, but even with the receipt, that government ID could be something that they could ask for. And that's just a part of our policy.
Okay, so when I purchased the item, I was not asked for an ID. But to return the item, I
No,
have to surrender my personal information for you guys to scan my government ID in order to return an item for which I paid with cash and I have the receipt for it. How is that even legal? Oh my God.
I mean, it's part of our policy. There's nothing really that we can change. I know sometimes the managers might be able to just scan their own ID for customers that would rather refuse,
I asked the manager to
but
do
really
that,
it's up
and
to them.
I asked the manager, I said, can you scan your ID? Can you surrender your personal information? And he wouldn't do it. So if he's so confident on the system, why wouldn't the manager scan his own ID then?
That's just because it is their private information as well. So even if it was your private information, on our website we have this section on the bottom where it says "Do not sell my my information," where you can put all your information down. That way, your
So,
private information doesn't get sent out anywhere, and it gets basically deleted from our site.
okay, so the bottom line is, unless I give to Harbor Freight my personal information and let them scan my government ID, Harbor Freight will not perform this return, which is only
If
two,
that
three
if
days
that
after the
return is
purchase.
getting flagged, then yes.
Why would it get flagged if I have the receipt? And it was
This
paid
can
with
happen with any
cash.
purchase, any return. It's up to the system. The system really does it randomly. It can be you. It could be the next person.
So the
It,
gentleman at the
it's random.
cashier, the cashier that I went to first, that was at the cashier first, he tried it several times and no success, right? Then the manager came, or the store supervisor, whatever it's called, came over. He tried it at a different station, different cashier station, and it was the same thing. And then the supervisor told me it's for every return. It's not random like you're saying. He said it's for every return they need to scan a government ID regardless of receipt being available or not.
From my understanding, I thought it was random, but they are the ones that do handle more returns in person. Of course, we don't really handle any returns. We mostly deal with the back end type of stuff. But if he's saying for every return, then it is for every return. From my understanding, I thought it was random.
So, okay, so my question to you is once my ID gets scanned, you guys are storing this information. You said a few minutes ago, correct?
Yes, a third party is the one that stores that information on a database.
Well, so it's not even Harbor Freight, it's a different company that takes my information.
Yes, so it says we maintain a database, consumer activity, which that third party it handles not only our store, but they handle different other stores.
I've
Like,
never been
say,
I've never been in any other
at a
store.
car parts store.
Right. I've never been in any other store in this country yet where if you have a receipt, you still have to let them scan your ID. Harbor Freight is the only store that does this. And I'm in Illinois, and I know Illinois has
Yes,
very strict laws about privacy, and Google got sued for the fingerprints and the facial recognition and collecting all this data in a sneaky way. And to me, this is just another case of the same situation. If I didn't have the receipt, I would totally understand it because, hey, maybe I stole it or whatever. But I have the receipt in hand when I made the purchase 2, 3 days prior. So, so there's no way I can get my money back unless I give you guys my personal information. Is that correct?
unless they scan a government ID, yes.
Okay. So you need to get my government ID scanned in order for me to make a return with a receipt within 3 days of the purchase, item in the same condition as when I bought it, and I paid with cash. And that's the situation you're telling me is today, correct?
Yes, and it's part of our policy.
I understand it's your policy, but it cannot be legal. I can make my policy that everybody has to pay $20 when they cross the street in front of my house. That doesn't make it legal. Okay, no problem. Time to contact other people then. Thank you. And what
Okay.
was your name again?
My name is Ruby.
Ruby, can you spell that for me, please?
RUBY.
Okay. Do you have like a number, like an office, like a worker number? Some companies have like a code for their workers.
No, I don't.
Okay.
They don't give us codes like that. It's just our names.
Okay. And this was, did I contact the headquarters in California? Is that who I contacted?
Yes, you're contacting the call center.
Okay. Are you guys based in the United States or out of the States?
Yes, we're in California.
Okay, cool.
Now we're remote, but most of us are in California.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and let you go. Thank you for calling Harbor Freight Tools. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.